Live. Hi, I'm Rob from Hobsy. Thanks for joining me live on YouTube. As you can see, joined by Harry from Bluenose Beer Reviews. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Hello.
Good. And we're going to be looking at 3 beers from one brewery tonight, and they're from Glasshouse in Sturchley, and they are on the outskirts of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Harry's the former local kind of like expert, so I will be looking towards him for all that expertise. But first off, let's get beer, because I'm spitting feathers. And the first one we're going to be having is I'm going to do. See, I've been on these streams with Craig, and we can do this. Boom, full screen. I won't just jump on you like without you knowing, like this. And it is live and direct pale ale hopped with Citra and Idaho 7, which for somebody with my failing eyesight is quite hard to read. But yeah, I can't see much else on the camera. So let's get this cracked open. And
yeah, the artwork on the can as well, I'm fairly sure is New Street Station Signal Box. Because
lovely.
I'm a brutalist bore like that.
I've spent quite a lot of my professional life looking at photographs of railway stations. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've done. I did an exhibition about railway stations, and I made these lantern slides, kind of projections of roofs of a variety of styles of railway stations. My brutalist interior on this one, because from the outside looks like dog shit, was Euston. Because that's horrible. Well, it was, but they've done a load of work on it. Bit of railway station chats.
That's what you come here for.
Absolutely. Yeah. The promises of MC battles, but I was frantically putting them all. I spent ages doing all these cool slides for Instagram, and then at the last minute, small child occupied too much of my time, and I'm like, nah! I can't not let the general public see this absolute fucking gold. So I chucked them all at quick succession. So,
nice.
Appearance-wise,
yeah, it's hazy.
Yeah, I'm giving lamp out. I'm gonna go murky for months on the sliding scale.
Yeah, it's definitely a murky for months.
It's not turbid, really, is it? It's just
no. There definitely hasn't been any fish inside of
it. Colour-wise, it's kind of orange juice-ish.
Yeah, like a golden orange colour. That's it.
Pure white foam on top. The tasting notes probably a bit more extensive for the next two, and also we'll probably chuck more in. But right now, I just want to drink some beer. Unlike Harry, I've not been judging beer since what time this morning did you start beer judging?
9.
9 o'clock. So maybe a touch of palate fatigue. But were you doing golden ales today?
Yeah, so I did golden ales. Yesterday I had complete burnout because I was doing Belgian strong Belgian triples and stuff like that. But then today it's mainly been lagers and golden ales. Thank God there was only 6 golden ales because it would have killed me otherwise.
They get a little bit tiresome. Anyway, So Idaho 7 and Citra. I'm getting a little bit of the smoky bacon crisps like you get from Nelson. Just a hint.
Yeah.
I get give me that blind. Just a hint, but lots of fruit, sweet orange.
Yeah.
Pineapple. What about you?
Getting big old melon note, like a honeydew melon.
Honeydew melon. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, get that. And then, pretty much everything else you've said. And I just want to get it in me.
Yeah, let's start drinking and we can then expand on other things. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, that's lovely.
So on that back end, it's got that lovely little bit of kind of like a dryness and almost slightly savoury edge on it. Nice.
So what you
nicely
want for
hurled.
something? What ABV is it again?
5?
Tiny
5.
little text.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, 5.
So it's not too puny. So it is kind of padded out with a good amount of malt kind of heft. It's like when you go in lower, it can become either like hop tea or just a bit. It's kind of lacking something, but I think this has just got. The first set of cans I had were the first free release. Can't remember what they were now. Sakura was the IPA. I can't remember the other two.
Yeah, I missed out on those ones, unfortunately. But then I got loads of this lot.
But with that, there were like a real defined progression from like I think there were like a 4 point something, then a 5, then the IPA at 6.5, something like that. And this is hitting that sweet spot of a 5 where you are getting a bit more kind of malt presence.
I seem to think as well, I could be absolutely 100% wrong, but I seem to think this was brewed last year as well.
Okay.
Because I seem to, well, maybe it wasn't, but I seem to remember the can design from last year being the little strips that used to have in the crowls. And I'm not sure. I just want to see by checking. Yes, it was. So I had one last year, and I took a photo of it, and that's what it looked like. So yeah,
let me give you a bit of solo action.
There you go. So that's what it was last year, about summer last year. So it looked like that. And I really like that can design as well. But then this is just like, because that was unique, but then this one is just like bold and in your face.
Yeah, you need it. You need that shelf appeal, don't you? Sadly, I mean, that's one of the things that kind of troubles me. As much as I love kind of the sea of wonderfulness that you see on the shelves, there is often a tendency to follow trend.
Yeah.
Who's doing what, and do you do your version of that? I mean, and I've got no issue with a full bleed image like this. I think they look lovely, and I took great pleasure in making my thumbnails and stuff and going, oh, they look nice. And making them all kind of monochromatic because there's a lovely texture to the photography and stuff. So it's not exactly the same. I think I love the logo. I think it's got a real kind of, it's really kind of recognisable.
Yeah, miles off. Also repping with my tea.
You are repping with what?
With my tea.
All right. I'm just gonna. I will be doing the old Untapped thing, and I'm just setting myself up. There we go. Not going to go on to that. Yeah, but So Idaho 7 and Citra. I mean, I really like Idaho 7. More I have it, more I like it.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm an expert on the hop itself. I've never really had it as a single hop, and that for me is always like the best way to kind of determine exactly how it tastes. But then at the same time, it's just like very raw that way. But yeah, obviously Citra it's my favourite hop. I love just like the aroma when you open up a bag of Citra. For me, just smells like jelly tots. Like adults jelly tots. It's a really weird thing, but like you just open it up, it's like, oh, a bag of jelly tots, but then they don't taste the same.
I think it was there's a brewery called Fat Orange Cat, and they did My Own Private Idaho, something like that. And that was all Idaho 7, and I loved that beer. That was kind of like start of lockdown last year, lockdown 1, the original. And I absolutely love that, and that really kind of like kind of focused my attention on Idaho 7 to have it a bit more. It was actually chatting with Adam from Mersey Beers and him going, oh, I love Idaho 7, and I thought, I think since then I've been a lot more kind of aware of enjoying it. It's good. It is really good, but oddly, one of the first times I remember having it was in Tilt in Birmingham. Oddly, but it's all tying back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just tying everything in. And it was the first beer of the day on the final day probably. And I had a Colonel Idaho 7, and it was awful. It was probably more down to me, and no sleep, and
you were awful.
Destroying loads of beers the night before until the early hours of the morning. But it was just like, oh, jeez. It tasted like when you think of what beer probably tasted to like when you were about 10 and you maybe a little test and you're like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I just remember it tasting like that.
Oh, yeah.
But now I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I think the first time I ever had a Glasshouse beer was when Josh was brewing. So before they got their unit in Sturchley, where they are now,
Yeah.
I don't know what size kit it was, but this is why they were called Glasshouse, was because they were brewing inside of a greenhouse. And I think it was because like their niece or nephew or someone came up and said, "Oh, well, what are you brewing in? Oh, you're brewing in a Glasshouse," and then the name just kind of stuck. That's the story I've heard anyway. It's probably a little bit different to that, but that's reasonably close, I think. But then the first time I ever had one of their beers was in, which is now gone, Clink. And Josh was behind the bar. I think, well, he was working behind the bar quite a lot, and he had his beer on, and I tried it, and I was like, I like this. And one is I like it because it's fucking good, and it was miles better than a lot of the other things they had. Two, it was local, and they did always try to push local beers in there. But it was just like also getting to chat with the brewer there, and probably one of the most knowledgeable brewers as well I know is Josh, because he knows his shit. From somebody who's come from a background of, well, it's not really beer. It actually came through Brewdog, working on the bar there. But then for someone to actually, he just knows his shit, really does, especially on water chemistry.
I think my first was actually at Brewdog.
Yeah.
On my first trip to Birmingham on the Sunday, when we were with you and Charles, and it was you. I think it was probably you and Charles who were the people who first mentioned Glasshouse to me back in the day. But yeah, I think Brewdog were doing like putting on local beers.
Yeah.
I think that was probably my first.
Yeah, that would have been.
No idea what it was. Pale ale, I think.
Yeah, because that's typically what they did a lot of, and then it kind of last year was probably maybe the year before. I think it was Terry Needs His Nibs is probably one of like the other stouts I've had. And then there was like a big imperial stout I had last year as well, which is the Heaven Hill barrel aged with Brad Carter one.
I didn't know they'd done anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know how many he's done, because I remember we were talking about it, and it was about a year ago. So I'm trying to remember it, but yes, they have done like one of these. That was in a bottle as well. Maybe two they've done, but then the stouts I had quite a few of Terry Needs His Nibs. That's a good beer. It was a good beer. Bring it back.
We had a bunch at at Triangle where I work in theory. Which I've been furloughed for all of from about 3 shifts since last March. Still get me staff discount. Thanks, Gav. But we would get them on. We started getting them on, and they were very popular. I mean, 2 things that made them really popular were lovely low ABV kind of session beers like this, which is just packed full of flavour, really drinkable, and and just really kind of like approachable for a lot of people. And then the other one, which was widely popular, was the kind of probably flavoured Berlin Weisses, the kind of raspberry one. I can't remember what that's called.
Deep seeded. It's normally called deep seeded RB or deep seeded RBR, but now they've started.
What was it called?
Yeah, that's like it's like, is it 4%, something like that? I've got one in the fridge probably.
Well, I'm just going to quick scan around on. It's funny, isn't it? You kind of don't think they'll have done many beers, but they have actually done quite a few in their kind of short history. Terry Needs His Nibs. Yeah, I'm looking on Untapped.
But yeah, the deep seeded series. I think the first time I tried one of them was in the tap room, in the brewery tap room. Not long after I moved down here, I was still going up to Birmingham probably every 2 weeks because I still had a fair bit of work up there. So then I would pop up and then drop in there on the way home, because it's very handily on the way home. It's a horrible drive going through the centre of Birmingham and then back out the other way, but it's it's worth it. It's worth it just for going to Glasshouse and then going to Cork and Cage for a little bit and chatting with everyone. But yeah, but I remember having it was a very weird day. I went there after work. I saw Dan, who's of Holton Turner Brewery, but he used to be at Brewhouse before I went there. And he left and told me to not go and work there, and I didn't listen.
I sadly was the one who mentioned that, told you about that job. So
you did. Well, the thing you told me about it before, you told me about it like 6 months before or 8 months before, and then Dan took the job, and then it was
really?
it was afterwards, and then I saw it. I was like, oh, I'll go for it, and then I was like, yes, I see why you left. But yeah, so I met Dan there. It was good to chat with Dan properly, and then also again, Donica, who's now down here. Donica I think he was possibly still at Dig Brew then, or maybe he just started his new brewery in Shrewsbury, which he's now left and gone elsewhere. And then also chatting with Josh and everyone. It was just a very weird day where you met, and I think Rich might have been there. It was just a very strange day with like all of the Birmingham people who I knew were all together in one day, which is nice.
Yeah, they just before lockdown started, the first time around, I'd started doing these on location things. I'd finally got over that hump of feeling massively self-aware in public places talking to a camera. And I'd done Salt near me. I'd done North, Wylam. I've done one more, but I just not posted. It just seemed inappropriate to post at that tap room during a time when nothing's open. And one of the things what I wanting to do on my next on my list was Glasshouse. So just waiting because they didn't have like consistent dates on when they opened. So I was waiting for that, and then obviously the world set on fire. And but I mean, I'm a big fan of Birmingham. It's a fun place to go drinking, and Glasshouse is definitely one of the places that I'm going to be visiting next time I head over that way. So before I go on to Untapped, I'll just go through the comments. So I've got friends on Sunset saying evening, gents, evening. And our friend Jake O'Bear, howdy. Jake's just done a live thing. I thought he was trying to compete with us for a minute.
Yeah,
hang
how
on.
dare he?
What are you playing at?
Who does he think he is?
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Jake O'Ale.
Are you doing the new double IPA from Beak, which I think I've got coming tomorrow. AKA Tracy. Okay. AK Tracy? I'm confused. Stuart, there's our lovely Stuart, who was supposed to be joining us tonight, but Stuart drank his beers. So Stuart is drinking the Cloudwater Trillium, which was beautiful. Absolutely corking was the uppercase. Have you tried that? Or he's just disappeared. He's back.
It's Southern Internet.
Have you had the Cloudwater Trillium uppercase?
Which one? Sorry. Which
Cloudwater Trillium uppercase? The Trillium beer.
Oh no.
We had it the Freaky Friday. Oh, that's good.
I had lots from the Freak Week series, but I don't know how Freak Week, whether that's the same as Freaky Friday, because it was a similar kind of thing where they did collabs, but it was never Cloudwater. It was like other breweries inside the US.
Yeah. I think it's first time I'm aware of anybody over here doing it.
Yeah.
You kind of do what the really memorable one in which turned really shit when it Trillium and Monkish or something, and it was really bad. Or people were just really disappointed. I can't remember what it's called. They were like the two things, maybe two hands, kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
On the can. Maybe I'm tacking memories together. Anywho, so then James Morse has just cracked open today a single hop Strata double IPA. Really impressed. I feel something else. Yeah, I've heard the new batch of saturated Stratas. Very nice. And then our lovely Craig from Beer Reviews, from Craig's Beer Reviews, who would normally be gracing with his, but he's having the night off. Hence this. It was planned with Stuart and Bullman, but apparently Bullman's internet connection is horrendous, and Stuart drank his beers, so only people you could rely on were me and Harry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you finished the double IPA, quick, James. Oh, there you go. That's there you go. So evening, gents from Disco. How you doing? And then let's say, is that homebrew judging, Harry?
No, but some of them were close to it. No, it's for a London international or London beer competition. But it's like a lot of international breweries on there. It was good. I wasn't the only Brummie who was doing it. Roberto Ross was doing it as well.
Last time I was asked to judge, it was actually homebrew, and the standard was usually really good. But I think it was 2 days before I was flying to San Diego, and the category that year was fruit beers. So I thought, maybe I don't want to be shitting myself for 4 days after drinking loads of badly made fruit beers before I fly for like 19 hours. So I bowed out that year.
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever done it, and it was obviously it was online, so you got like bottles or cans of everything. But yeah, and then you just have to write your notes. And I always felt like I was like, well, am I writing notes properly? And is this how you really do it? Because it says how not to do it, but it doesn't say how to do it. And I just looked at the how not, and I thought, I'm not writing that many words anyway. So, it's, yeah, it was a nice varied bunch. I think there was some I did mention this to them as well. Some real surprises out there from macro breweries.
Oh, really?
And I was like, if you put your mind to it on your actual beers, maybe, yeah. And like there was 2 from the big macro brewery, which were like, yeah, and that was really good. There was one very, very good beer from Singapore, which was delicious.
Singer,
yeah, Singer. And then I think the other one was a Polish beer, which was just ridiculously good. Obviously, I'm not going to say what they are, but yeah, they were all really good, and hopefully we'll hear about them in about a month's time.
Yeah. He's so cryptic. What are these good macro beers that he talks of?
Yeah.
Harry is a big fan of dragon soup, so please take everything he says with a pinch of salt. And then I love the Stuart saying he's drinking a Citra IPA from Buxton. I presume that's the Lupulus range. I'm not sure about Buxton at the moment. Not sure.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And James Moore said I've been trying to try more single hop beers and get a better understanding. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think with New England IPA, it's sometimes quite difficult to pick out the nuances. I think these days, Kernel's probably one of the best options for drinking single hops. When I first kind of got into that kind of thing, Mikkeller were doing them, so they were all over the place. So they were quite good. But yeah, I'd say Kernel's probably a good shout when you're wanting single hops. Nice clean beers. But I think with the New England stuff, for me, it's like getting all your paints out of your paint pot, and what you end up with is kind of like a purpley brown, and you kind of lose any kind of definition of anything. Still very nice, but you can't lose something. But I think I do pick up Idaho 7 a little bit these days, especially in this. A couple more comments and then we'll get on to the next one, because that was a great link to the next one, which is a Sinkhop IPA. Hold on to that segue. I've been to Time Out Brewery. That's a bit out of the blue, Stuart, but God bless you. Me too. On the twist up in Newcastle, we went to Time Bank. Sure, a lot's changed now. I think no, they're not. I was going to say Anarchy down there, but I think I'm not Anarchy. Almasty, but I think Almasty are up near Anarchy. There's a lot of breweries starting with Northern Alchemy. It's another A in Newcastle. And then, as we mentioned earlier, there's the Charles in question who was one of the people that introduced me to Glasshouse. So glad you joined us. If we'd have known Charles, it is the beer. Your background, whose background photo?
No, Charles. Sorry, Charles's photo.
His profile, it's thingy, it's Beers Without Frontiers. The podcast is Charles. It's one of the
I meant
it's probably in Cloudwater, I think.
I thought it was Cloudwater's old barrel store, isn't it?
Old barrel store, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to think it is. The Stuart says dedicated to man.
Does he mean Manchester piss up?
Ah, there you go. Manchester Boston. There you go. Not sure what he's on about.
No.
Enjoying the recent run of poly beers. Yes, me too. I've had some nice ones recently. I can never remember the names. Show me the cans. They were like a brightly coloured can last week. That was nice.
Is that like the triple IPA or something?
No, I've still got the birthday quad. Actually, it's just you never feel like, oh yeah, let's have that one. Let's have that 40% IPA.
Tuesday night.
It's just
that's when you do it. It's when you don't do it.
And for James Moss says 4 double IPAs in Jake and slowing down. I had 3 double IPAs last night, and not a great move. I fell asleep on the surf and woke up at 3:00. The new bottle shop in my town. Yeah, that's Thomas's birthday. Bad news. And went down for the niche of 8% on all styles. So yeah, everything's so fucking strong at the moment, isn't it? Everything. I mean, I think I bought Imperial Stouts and double IPAs today.
That's a big reason why I went and double ordered all these Glasshouse beers, because I was like getting so fed up of triple IPA, double IPA, and in February as well I went and bought loads of stuff from the States, and then it was all like triple IPAs and double IPAs because you got to make your money's worth, and then bang for buck kind of thing, and then I was just like, oh no, I'm really bored of all this stuff now. I just want to have a session pale. And then I thought, where's good? Glasshouse. Let's go get one.
Yeah, exactly. I was really happy that the selection we've got tonight. Nothing's over 6, which is great. Right then, so I'm gonna crack open the next one. I've got a little bit of the other one left, which I'm sure we'll get back into as we chat.
Completed it.
But I wanted to leave that on there because it was a beautiful segue. We'll go back to I've been trying more single hop beers at the moment for a better understanding. Well, here we go then. This is what you want now. I'm going solo screen on Harry for this one. You can introduce this one. There you go.
So this is a Cryo Simcoe. Once my least favourite hop in the world. Cryo Simcoe IPA, and it is 6% ABV. And lovely trees, pine trees, everywhere.
What's it called again?
Bump the Acres.
Bump the Acres. I'm not sure what that means. Sounds a little bit rude if I'm being honest. Let's go bump the acres.
Bump the acres.
What were you doing up in woods? Bumping the acres. Nice couple. Dorothy and Jeff. Acres.
Age 70, 69.
I could go down there. Ridiculous kind of route on that one, but let's not. I'll do that on somebody else's channel, not me own.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or Thomas's. The 4 Thomases. So yeah, like this one so far has been like the standout beer. Like, that was the reason why I went and bought more, was because of this. When, like, for years and years, I have just had, I think it's possibly because I've just had really bad experiences with Simcoe. And I've never enjoyed it. It's always just been too herbal, too grassy for me, and I've just never really never really enjoyed it. More so over the past kind of 6 to 8 months, I think I've seen a bit of a shift in the Simcoe that brewers have been using, in that it was possibly a little bit cat pissy the last few times I've had it. and it's just until more recently it's just become a lot more fruity. I've noticed it being, and with this, when I saw the can design, I was like, I love the can design. It just looks fantastic. Just makes me think of like forests in Germany or something when I've been at a rave at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Just put up his Bump the Acres dedicated to the Black Forest of Birmingham.
Where's there a Black Forest in Birmingham?
No idea.
I don't know. It's just chatting shit in the comments. But anyway, so yeah, like I just love the can artwork, and I was like, oh, Sinkhop Simcoe. Let's challenge myself, but also Cryo Simcoe. So obviously Cryo Simcoe is just like mega alpha. I don't know what it is. Probably like 22, 23 or something like that.
Wow.
Maybe even more. And it's just ridiculous expensive. It's like, was it 330? This was the price I was quoted about 2-3 years ago was like 330 quid for a 5 kilo bag of it. And that was through a merchant, but like I think he's going direct with it. But that's expensive. That's really expensive, and that's probably kind of in this, I suppose, is possibly what puts it to the price it is. I don't think it's expensive though. I don't think any of their beers are expensive at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, actually, I mean, as I said, I've had very little time to prepare myself before this. I was putting a small child to bed. It is mine, don't worry. So, and I just want to let's have a look at the bloody Untapped for the last beer. As I was just poured the rest of it, and now let's have a look at Untapped. See what those people think. Screen share, Chrome tab, boom. There we go. Right, so live and direct, which was beer we're just finishing. Big rating for a 5% beer, that 4.2. Very impressive. As it said, it's a core-ish pale is back with bang, boom, super soft pineapple, mango, peach in abundance. I said pineapple, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Didn't say mango, didn't say peach. What do brewers know, really?
Yeah. Nothing.
So, steady rolling vibes, nice. That's Adam G. So please chip in if you know any of these people. Be like, oh yeah, Adam G. See, I like a comment. I'm searching for comments or silly names. Impressive New England Pale from Ralph H. You need one of his wedding photos. Or come on, give us a comment. Ooh, that one's bought from Cotteridge.
Cotteridge.
Keeping it local. Glasshouse. So this is actually bought at the tap room. That one. Neil G. Do you know Neil G? And the place to be.
No.
Very tasty from Fiona B. I think does everybody abbreviate their names on Tapped?
If you don't know.
Oh, yes, true. Another nice 2 brews purchase. I don't know where that is. Come on, give us a bit of entertainment. Soft with a pulpy pineapple mango flavour.
Nice.
I'm going with pineapple. Yeah. Down with that. I didn't look how many rains there were actually.
In fact, you're only on 7 hours ago, so it says lots.
582.
Lots
oh, there's a fair amount then. Good amount. I wish. Can you? Oh, you probably can if you got the bought version. I wonder if you can turn it the other way around. And it's like, who was the first person to ever check in this beer?
Just keep scrolling to the bottom, you'll find out.
Shits and gigs. I'm not going to scroll down 500 and odd things. Friends, see if any of my friends have had it. Not that I use Untapped all that much. Anybody? No. Haven't got any friends. That's why. Have I reviewed it in the past? No, I haven't.
Are you even signed in?
Oh no, that's why.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because I can't remember my password. So that's why.
If I go on it now.
Yeah, you have a look.
Yeah.
Have you checked it in before?
Yeah, twice. Friends of mine who've had it. I was going to say Neil G sounds familiar because he's on my Untapped, so that's why. And he's had it a couple of times in the past. Ant L, Ed Lacey, Didn't say anything about it. Neil G again. Dave Hopkins. Rob Doyle. Mr. Optimism just calls it awesome.
What about you?
Yeah. Well, I don't write. I've just found Brew Cavern as well says Starbursts on the nose, juicy fruits on the palate, light and smashable pale from those West Mids Wonder Kids.
Do you not even give it a rating, a number?
I gave it a number, yeah.
What did you give it?
It's above a 4. it's me and it's Glasshouse. It's above a 4.
It's above a 4.
4.25 and a 4.5 when I've had it. So this particular can 4.5.
Yeah, I think it's absolute corking. Very nice indeed. Right, we can crack on now. Now I've found where I was. It'll be see if I did these on a regular basis, I'd be a lot more slick, but I don't. So unlucky. Yeah. So Bump the Acres single hop Simcoe. I mean, as you're saying, I had a Simcoe IPA from Trillium as part of the box that Cladwell did a while back, and I was like, no way, this isn't Simcoe. And so I think there's just so much more going into kind of hop selection as well these days. What we used to know as Simcoe, which was very much like that cat piss thing, which I have picked up in the past, but not for a long time. Anyway, colour wise on this one, I'd say a little bit more bright.
Yeah. I'd say it's not quite as murky, possibly.
No,
I can see a little bit down going through the glass there.
Bang on, Haze for Days.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. It's a great colour.
Yeah.
A vibrant orange.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But it has got a little bit more clarity. But a thin film of Daz Whitehead, another doff of the cap to a Midlands gent, our Dean, Dean's Beer Reviews. I always steal that one, but I always credit him for it. But I mean, and a really nice tight head on this as well.
Yeah.
Really tight head.
Yeah.
So, aroma?
Big.
Ooh. That takes you all around. It goes all over the place, that does.
That's
for a single hop. Wow.
It's just like, that's not Simcoe for me. That's just like so much more than Simcoe. I mean, it's possibly because it's cryo, but like I've never used cryo before. But you know, I think typically with cryo, it is basically just like double alpha, and I guess the beta's around about the same. Well, double as well, but I've never got the chance to play around with cryo because it's just very expensive.
Wow, that's a real head scratcher. One thing it's not the prominent aroma, but it's in there. Foam banana sweets is in there. It's not right up front. It knocks around. Kind of midway. First off, I get maybe it is a little bit pissy, in a nice way. That piss smells lovely. Oh, lovely. I had a right fruity piss the other day. I couldn't help but have a sec.
Can you just have a little piss there, just so I can sniff it?
It's kind of like. See, I'm not somebody who eats passion fruit on a daily basis, but it's kind of passion fruit-esque. But it's like a general. If you get a tropical fruits cordial, you pour it on some hay and let it dry out and get all sticky.
Let's just go and get something that's passion fruit.
Ooh. Harry's gonna get. Don't expect an actual passion fruit. It's probably something passion fruit flavored.
Hype.
It's got a hint of petrol going on. Oh, you thinking your sauce?
I've had it like 5 minutes ago as well. Anyway.
All right.
That's passion fruit with a fair bit of chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is a savoury edge to this.
I get mega sweet. I've just fucked my nose up by spelling that now. But it is mega passion fruit. There is like a mango. There's a weird kind of I get an old kind of mango chutney kind of note off it.
Yes.
And then fucking come in. There is definitely a fairly decent herbal whack, but it's not anywhere near the amount that I used to find Simcoe just to purely be.
Yes. I was going to say, maybe a hint of fresh pine.
Yes. Yeah. Like licking a pine tree.
It's not kind of resinous pine, though. It's just like a fragrant pine.
Hmm.
Oh, it smells great.
Yeah.
It really does. I can't get away from bananas. Bananas and mango and orange and passion fruit. Oh, it smells amazing. But yeah, not Simcoe. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. That really reminds me of that. Well, the kind of experience I had with that Trillium one, where I'm going, if you give me that and then tell me it was Simcoe afterwards, I'd be, huh? No way.
Yeah. I really love that the way it finishes as well, but the way it kind of dries up. And you're left with that kind of. It goes very kind of sweet melony, sweet like mango and passion fruit to start off with, and it moves into kind of the bitterness and the pine starts to develop and come in. And then it just dries up at the back end and just makes you say, now I need another sip. What a horrible thing. I will.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to put my finger on it. It's not dry. It's kind of dry, but it's not dry.
It's not brute IPA dry, but it's dry enough.
Maybe it's just not as pillowy as the previous one. It's not full on New England. It's kind of that kind of somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Which isn't a mountain IPA, because that's just dog shit. I'm not one for a mountain IPA. I think it's whatever. I like it when breweries just kind of like, this is an IPA based on a variety of kind of things that we do, and somewhere it falls in its own unique spot, and that's lovely.
It's a Valley IPA.
Sturchley IPA. Because it's got a lovely clarity to it. I think you do. So you say it was 6. I think you do taste a little bit of ABV on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But flavour-wise, kind of slightly grapey. Grape-like, I'm going to say, instead of grapey, because it's not. You got to be careful how you say that word. Grape.
Big grapey.
Vinous quality to it. Yeah, grapefruit, pineapple.
Yeah. Yummy.
It is lovely. Have you had a fair bit of this then?
Yeah, I had quite a few. I went through my whole. Well, I got 3 or 4. Yeah, 4 before. I got 4 before. No, 3 before. I got some 3 before in the back of my head. I got 3 of them before, and then I tried it as soon as it came out. It was in the back of the car. I just tried it, and it was like, oh god, this is damn good. And then had the rest. I didn't have enough to bloody review
picturing
it.
You just like boot open.
I legit do that. I kind of go into the forest and go and have a wander around with a beer, and then come back out without the beer, and then kind of go home. But yeah, no, like so I bought 3 of them. They came in the mix 12, and then I went and got another load more because I was just like, they're damn good. You know, the one beer which we're not doing tonight as well, the table beer, that was just phenomenal as well. I think that was just ridiculously smashable. So I think I've got like a couple of them, but then I decided this time, because I had the stout already, I wanted to get the deep seeded RB or RBR. I can't remember what it was, the tart one, and the fruited IPA or fruited pale, I don't know what you call it. And I know that I enjoy it, so I thought, okay, let's go and get them as well instead. But I just in general they're a solid all round brewery for me. So especially on the pales, especially on lower ABV beers, they're really solid.
IPA 6%. For me, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look to my fridge now, I think the most prominent beer is either a double IPA or triple IPA. So everything seems to be getting stronger and stronger, and I think this is exactly what people should be aiming for.
Yeah.
It's like, why does beer have to be so fucking strong?
Yeah.
But no, this is lovely.
There's, it makes so much sense to a brewery as well to brew your beers at like this sort of ABV, because then people want more of them and more and more and more. And I just don't understand it. Obviously, with like double IPAs, triple IPAs, and imperial stouts and things like that, you can push the price up on one can, on a single can. But people aren't going to buy, unless you're mental like me, occasionally buy 3 or 4 imperial stouts from the same brewery. You're just going to buy one, and then that'll be it. So, and also when they go on to, the brewery tap, for example, when that reopens, you want to have, where they are, it's on the industrial estate, where they've got a massive open space in front of them in the sun. You want to have just lots of little sessionable pails, all of them solid, decent, easy drinking. That's what Daya does, obviously, quite well as well.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of setup, I suppose, to the way that Daya is with their tap.
Okay.
But yeah, and then you just sit in the sun all day long. You've got some food vans outside as well. This is me remembering the good glory days before COVID.
No. We'll start crying in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. God, no, it was great. And then you just want lots of little sessionable pails, which is what they smash out, and they're bloody good.
That was what I was just about to say before you started talking about tap room. Like that, this is a great tap room beer.
Yeah.
You could have a pint of it.
Yeah.
Then go back to the table beer or a 6% stout or something. Not feel like you've overdone it.
Yeah.
Then have maybe another half later on. But I don't think you'd be scared to have a pint of that.
No.
If you're that way inclined.
And
it's packing a load of flavour, a good amount of punch. Yeah, and you're not falling over.
Yeah. It's it'd definitely be one I just look forward to it being open again. Just look forward to it. I can't wait to do I need to do Attic as well. Badly. I've walked past so many times. And a little bit of prejudice, I suppose, in the past. I've just been like, who the fuck are they? I haven't heard of them. And after getting off the train, and then I'll go over to Cork and Cage and then go to Glasshouse. And then I hear so many good things. I remember listening to Charles's podcast, and I was like, oh, I need to go in there. And I still haven't been in there. And yeah, there's another incentive. I've got £27 worth of a bar tab to spend up on Cork Cage. So I need to go in there and have some.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at. I'll find the Untapped for this. Shares. What's it called? Bump the Acres. Alan and Sandra Acres. They're called. Come on. Live Untapped. It's the pinnacle of beer broadcasting is live untappage, especially when you're doing it.
I'm back now.
Hang on. Slightly slow. Yeah, you got to. I want to see if you've got anybody I know, or I want your ratings as well for this. If you've had it before as well, is it a new beer?
I'm actually on the loyal drinkers.
Oh,
that's how many times I've had it.
A loyal drinker.
I'm top.
Here we go.
Top of the list. So
let's have a look on this one. So 4.14. Just short of what is it? Just over 300. Sticky pine sap. We said pine.
Yeah.
Resin, peach. It look clearly a bit of peach. Smooth grist. What do you think? You're the brewer. You're going to dig deep on the smooth grist. What would constitute a smooth grist? It looks like a very pale malt base. This for me. Extra pale. I'm going. Bit of Pilsner malt, maybe even.
Yeah.
Malted wheat.
Because the one thing I know about Well, it won't be on this beer.
Don't give away his thingy. Don't give away. I think he's
No.
watching. You know.
He might be. I know
No, he
that
said he was going to watch.
No, he did. He
So-
did. I know that there's.
I'm giving away secrets.
It won't be on this beer, but like I know
Oh,
that
right.
he hates lactose. So there will definitely not be a lactose in any of it.
No, this is very much anti-lactose. It's
Yeah.
because of that lovely kind of like dryness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no lactose, but you get a little bit of softness. Maybe that's why I was thinking. Maybe a bit of wheat, a bit of malted wheat or something like that.
The Birmingham water, especially where they are, is just fucking good for brewing
Is
with.
it?
It really is good because I think I don't know what. Well, they're typically quite hard water, but it's not as horribly hard as it is down here. But it just seems to be whenever I was at Silhill, for example, we had was Birmingham water we had there, and we didn't have to do anything to our water to play around with it. And I know from when I did do little test batches of my super fruity juicy beers, they turn out really nice. But yeah, then even when homebrewing as well on Brum water, I used to actually drive over to Brum to go and pick up 50 litres of water, then go back home to Coventry and then brew with that, because it was just nicer to use.
Oh right, I've never really thought of. There's not much Birmingham kind of spring water available, but
It all comes from. I was South Staffs when I was in Brum.
Okay.
And then I think the rest of Brum is probably Severn Trent. Probably is. So south is probably Severn Trent, which is where they are, South Brum. But yeah, Coventry water's weird. It's just a bit. It's such a big science in water. Obviously, you do play around. You do play around with it. Like here, it's it's about 2 boils of the kettle before your kettle's gone white again. It's really hard water down here, so we have to piss around with it a lot. We use reverse osmosis on our water to get it nice to brew with, especially for distilling as well, because otherwise you knacker everything very quickly.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So just a couple of quite a lot of comments on this one. So and I really agree with this one. So juicy, then dank and piney.
Yeah.
Bitterness really lingers. Well, there's a. I don't know if it's bitter, but there's something that just kind of bites a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice crisp finish. I thought that was. I'm on board with those comments. And Matt D saying aromatic dank pine sap aroma. Classic Simcoe, no. I don't agree with that at all.
You're wrong.
I don't think it's dank. I don't think it's dank and sappy, but I think it's quite fragrant in the pine. But I agree on the pine. Classic Simcoe, no. This is not classic Simcoe. This is lovely Simcoe. Classic Simcoe is kind of berry-like and cat piss, and it's a bit very musty. But yeah, Pax resinous pine, orange pith. I agree with it. Orange pith, pineapple, crisp, resiny finish. It's crisp. I wouldn't say it's resiny. A great first Glasshouse outing. Well, there you go. 4.25. Can't complain about that one. So let's see if we've got any more comments. Have you got yours?
Yeah, I'm reading through them. Dave Hopkins says
it's a good one.
Fab getting hints of pine. Can't think why. I haven't said my. I don't write on mine, but my actual numbers have been all 4.5. And I've had 3 since the 5th of March. But with my friends, Ed Lacey saying good West Coast vibes.
It's West Coast-ish.
Yeah. John Appleby saying, that is the proverbial dogs. So simple, yet so perfectly executed. Simcoe given the freedom to run amok. Peachy, piney, perfect.
I like this one. Dry cream pine. Good. Yeah, it is oddly dry cream pine.
Okay, it's just definitely got the N in there.
Something about it. Creamy peach.
Some person called Richard Sadler is saying best Glasshouse IPA to date. I reckon exceptional. Yeah, some person.
That's a familiar surname. It seems like an East Coast West Coast hybrid. Yeah, I agree, but then yes and no. I like the it just being what it is. Sometimes it's like IPA. It's what IPA tastes like in its evolution. Full of juicy stone fruit, hoppy stuff with a resinous bitterness. Brand, absolutely. I think I'd agree with Matt C. First Class House, what a cracker. Who's
That's
that?
you first.
Steve B. It's not my mate Steve, is it? No, it's a Stephen B. But quality this, zingy punchy smooth. Big year for these. Taproom beckons. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Of all, oh god, this is particularly good. I think of all the different beers that Glasshouse have had, they've done 69. I've had 62.
I like this one. Absolute banger, as per you'd expect from Glasshouse. Bangerland. Bangerland. Well, that's a future beer name, isn't it? Bangerland. You can credit James D for Bangerland.
It's going to go on my shopping list. Bangerland.
It does smell like a forest of pines, resinous orange zest, a bit bitter, smooth and nice. Yeah, a bit bitter. I agree with that. Then Simcoe Perfection, so good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't think these would be as highly rated as they are. I mean, I know they are kind of like local heroes and stuff, but because they're not super hypey.
They don't really go for it, did they? I think like it's local hype. I think that's the thing we always found was whenever. I remember, especially when the beers are on sale in Clink, for example, I'd be like, "You got a new beer? Have you got a new beer coming out?" Or something. I'd always be interested in trying, a new one. But also, I'd happily session anything because I know in Glasshouse typically I used to go in because I was driving in most of the time. I'd go in and have a third, and then I'd work the board and having thirds. But then it would always be something like kind of finish up on. That would be like I'll have another third of that. But yeah, I think like they are definitely the local hype boys. I think the only brewery for me that comes close is Attic. There is a lot of love for someone like Green Duck, for example, Burning Soul. I always get mixed up between Burning Sky, Burning Soul as well. But yeah, but then like they're a different part of town, but Burning Soul's a bit of a pain to get to.
Yeah.
If you're in Brum, but yeah, I think they are just kind of like because there's a lot going on in the same area. They just get a lot of local attraction. Because Sturchley is like the place to be in Brum.
I think I went just as it was starting to turn, and when Charles took me up there, loads of stuff was closed. Is there something about cats? Cats something?
There's Wildcat Tap.
Yeah. He couldn't open his shutter because he's got his key broken in it or something. So
that'll be the old Wildcat Tap. I had a bit of fun delivering there in the past.
And this is a number of years ago now. But yeah, I only think what was open really in Sturchley at that point was Cotteridge. I don't think Sturchley Wines was actually open. We didn't go in for some reason.
Sturchley Wines is always closed on a Sunday, and I think Cotteridge is open.
I think it might have been a Sunday when we. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was definitely a Sunday when we went. Cause, I went round all the places on the Saturday, and then we did the podcast, and then and then we did Sturchley, and then came back into to Brum and met you at Jerry Red's.
Yeah,
I like this. I like this comment from Nick H. Delicious, dank and hoppy with rich mouthfeel and a satisfying pithy finish. This beer reminds me of a dank, rainy walk through Centre Parks in Longley as a kid, with the pine. Terpenes. I've never heard of that word. It's always so strong. I like that.
I don't think you pronounce it terpenes. I think it's like terpins or something like that. I can't remember.
I just like it was mentioning Centre Parks. Not that I've ever been because it sounds like hell, but But
the
just,
Centre
there's something
Parks.
very 80s, late 80s, early 90s about Centre Parks. But
There
entertains me.
is.
And then the last one I'll read is Glasshouse definitely in contention for a top 5 spot in terms of my favourite UK breweries. Another top drop. Chris K, I'd agree.
They have been for a very long time, and I've constantly said it. But
that's it. But now they're getting cans out, and that's
Yeah.
really kind of changed the business. I mean, all the people who've been talking about it now, other people can get it. So right, let's have a look at these comments. That's just mainly to kind of pander to my own ego. So thanks, Paul. Love you too. And then there you go. Oh, that's we already out from Stuart. World-renowned black voice of brewing. There you go. And then we've got Bob Maxfield, who is a notable Midlander. He says, please, Glasshouse are getting some attention. I remember telling people to look out for these when I guested on the Beer O'Clock show a few years ago, possibly 3. Yeah, you probably did mention them, actually, Bob. I completely remember that episode because the audio was terrible. There's there were 8 people all trying to talk at once. It was mental. But yeah, I do remember it vividly. But yeah, thanks for joining us this evening, Bob. And then Stuart, Black Country Midlands, haha. I do not use on that. Thanks, Stuart.
I reckon Stuart uses this, which is what I've been using the past couple of days.
Oh, a pad. Oh, you need a moleskin so you can be a proper ticker.
Yeah.
You're going to get Panda Pop balls as well.
Get a Filofax.
Filofax, yeah. They do have binders, don't they? The proper tickers. Have you seen them?
No.
I've had an encounter with the I don't know if he's still alive. He were old. Brian Moore. Alan Moore's from Midlands as well, isn't he? Brian Moore, former King of the Tickers. He the Grove in Huddersfield. My mate's brother went up to him at car park as we were like, "You're thinking, aren't you?" And we were completely bemused by it. Some little old man, bag full of Panda Pop bottles of cask ale. And evening all, and that's Dr. Vic. Thanks. We've got a good evening from Steve and also Rob. How's you, sir? Yeah, I'm good. Drinking some lovely beers. And Harry, always a pleasure. Thanks for the chat the other night, dude. Yeah.
See, I actually remember that.
I saw it very briefly. Harry was hammered at that point.
No,
Steve, we'll get you on a more suitable time.
Yeah. Generally, don't recommend coming on my stream when I've had a triple IPA, an Imperial Stout, and a Dragon Soup. Never a good idea. And 2 beers before it as well. But I do remember chatting to Steve and having a good convo, and then just fading away.
And then our lovely Paul from PA Brew News says, "Gotta love a fruity piss." Absolutely.
It's Paul, right up Paul Street.
Yeah, more. Well, that's a good point. That looks like a very dehydrated piss. That colour, the colour on that one. I'd be slightly worried if it's coming out that colour. And Davo, how you doing, Davo? Good evening, guys. And we've got one of the Thomas Opens from last night. It's a very weird in joke, is this? But there were multiple fake accounts made for Thomas's birthday last night, and this is one of them. Don't know who it is. Who knows? So I try to reach out to my younger self as I'm stranded in the time period. Thank you. That's the most most random in joke that no one will ever get, apart from if you were on one stream last night. A bit grapey. I always a bum touching. Paul, you're not helping anything. I see Sam might become leader of the UKIP yet. And Chelsea says, yeah, big taproom sesh when the crap is over. Absolutely, mate, absolutely. Well, now Harry's set my Liverpool trip back to potentially July. Maybe. Maybe that one sneaks in beforehand. No.
Well, I'll definitely be up for Brum before, because obviously I have somewhere to stay.
True.
Which is, yeah.
And then Bob says, notable, never been notable. Oh, of course you are. And then Craig says, I want to get to Glass Tap Room. Absolutely. Get to that tap room. Yeah, me too. It's one of the tap rooms. When I think of tap rooms that I've not been to, that's definitely right up there. That and Beak, I say they're probably the two tap rooms that I'd like to go to more than any other at the moment. Pressure Drops. But maybe those two more, because I've not even seen what Pressure Drops looks like. I know it's up at Thingy. I know it's up near Silver Road from Beavertown, isn't it?
Just thinking, yeah, Pressure Drop. I've been to the Pressure Drop Verdant one.
Yeah.
I've only been in there to go and grab cans because I walked in. I was like, oh, it's full of people.
Staff were fucking bellends when I went in.
What annoyed me was I couldn't see the prices anywhere for the beers. So I didn't know what beers I was buying. I was just like looking in the fridge for takeouts.
Well, like zero customer service at all. They were just like mates, like just doing is pissing around.
Yeah.
Terrible stuff. On my experience, anyway.
Yeah, I do. I'd say they were generally more interested in not talking to me, and but yeah, and then like I ended up walking out of there. I got like 4 beers, and then they go, "Oh yeah, it's £26, please." I was like, "What the fuck?" I don't know what I bought because I was literally just pointing at stuff because they didn't say prices anywhere, and I ended up buying like 3 Imperial Stouts and a double IPA, and then that's why it was that much. I then got the bus back. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a nice time kind of sat outside that outside the experiment, but yeah, I want us into Pressure Drop when I've been. It's been kind of like since then I've really kind of like got into Pressure Drop, so maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think they have improved. I don't think it's me; it's down to them.
Yeah, when I went, it was when Pressure Drop were just right up there with constantly being the hype boys, and it's where Verdant kind of went through that funny patch where they weren't so good. But I kind of feel like that tide's turned a little bit, like because I haven't seen anything from Pressure Drop. Well, it doesn't hit here anywhere. And
oh, really?
And we're just like it does come through Daler. It should come through Daler, who are one of the kind of wholesaling companies. But then no one sells it. I haven't seen it in bottles and books in Bristol, and that's where I tend to buy a lot of my beer from.
I had one last night. I had the 9 crystals for whatever Bob and Psychic Abilities, which is incredible. Rebrew of Inner Circle, which was I think it's Inner Circle, which I had last week at some point, and that was incredible. I really want the new Black Treacle Stout. That sounds lovely. It's like an 8% Black Treacle Stout. It's got a kind of like a bit of gold on the label and stuff. Looks lovely. But yes, so let's come on before we kick. Actually, I've got 2 until we get into the stout. So we got Devo saying it was a long week. It was a long week, Devo. Chilling with a glass of Ama. Pride Imperial Stout from the Sinner series. I've never had any of the Sinner series. I don't think. They were always too old when I ever saw them. And this was even going into the bar that is partially owned by. No, it's not owned by Amma, is it? It's Trying Bitter. I never made it over at Amma's tap room. That's another one I'd love to go to.
The one brewery, the one place will have some is it Amateur? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Amma.
The one place will have some is probably Cottridge Wines. Will have like a vintage bottle.
Really old. Yeah, no, I do like Amma. But yeah, entertainingly, I went to this is a pat on the back for me. I went to a bottle shop in Barcelona owned by a Dutch guy, not a Dutch guy, Danish guy.
Thomas.
I'm surrounded by the Dutch.
He wants you to be that way.
But owned by a Danish guy, and they had like some taps on, and one was Todd the Axeman, which is a great beer, and I ordered that, and they were like, "Are you from Denmark?" I'm like, "No." My mate is, so I know how to pronounce it properly. But hi everyone from Thomas, how you doing, mate? And then we've got BC's Beer Review says, "Cheers." Cheers. I'm all for your own unique pronunciation and stuff. So let's get into the third and final beer of the evening. and that is Shadow Tricks Stout. No more details than Stout, and it is 6% again, respectable. I was trying to. There seems to be lots of tasting notes knocking around online, but I can't see if there's anything else added to this.
No, it's water-based, maltodextrin, no lactose.
Yeah.
That's what I meant earlier when I was saying they don't like lactose. They like maltodextrin.
Yeah. To give it a little bit of sweetness.
A little bit of body, a little bit of sweetness.
No, I'm thinking. I thought it was something I'd read somewhere that it was like a chocolate milk stout or something. But
I think what we need to see more of is more beers with finings in, making them definitely unsuitable for vegans. We need more of that.
I'm going solo. Boom. There you go. There's my laptop and the reflection. That's how shiny it is. Colour wise, I say it's pretty much black, isn't it? It doesn't look the most viscous beer, but it is only 6%. So don't get your knickers in a twist, because it's not meant to be a big gloopy kind of fella. It's 6%, but pretty much a big shiny kind of ebony beer.
Again, at the same time, there is haze, but obviously you can't tell. But there is haze. Just looking
really?
down, there is like a little bit of haze. If you look, well, I can see it. It's not. It's as in that it's not clear.
Yeah.
Because it's a stout.
Nice kind of frothy, chocolatey head to it.
I killed it. I'm going to bring it back.
Looks the business.
There we go. Chew back
Aroma.
a keg of it.
Ooh, hello.
Roasty.
Roasted toasty.
Roasty malts.
Hazelnuts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dry kind of a certain kind of minerality to it as well. These are the posh bits, all right. These are the posh tasting note, kind of aroma notes. But it's not. I've gone away from the blue riband. I now say wafer biscuit you get from the Polish shop.
Getting a bit more budget with your
I love
responses.
it. There's so many. They love a wafer-based kind of treat in a Polish shop. Big ones like that, big chod of it, and they're often quite a bit of a nutty thing going on as well.
Yeah, so. I think behind all that roastiness, there's definitely like that kind of a little bit of a sugary sweetness, kind of like hiding
caramel.
in there.
There's a nice little bit of caramel knocking around.
But yeah, like even like you had a weird. This can sound ridiculous. Ladies' fingers. When you have them?
Ladies' fingers.
And there's like a little bit of frosted...
The biscuity things, yeah.
Yeah.
Not actual ladies' fingers. Ooh, smell ladies' fingers.
Smell my hand.
Well, we've all got our idiosyncrasies.
But there is that kind of like little bit of a frosted note. Just a touch, like a real faint touch of it, I find.
Slightly dry, slightly smoky kick. That's kind of in the middle for me. It smells good.
I'm going to...
shall we? Cheers. Lovely. Posh breakfast cereal with warm milk. Do you know that posh stuff like Dorset, whatever, Bob? That stuff you don't buy up at that end of the aisle. I'm referencing the locations of cereals in Asda and Shipley, by the way.
Okay.
What's that one? It's got a nice box. That one. Don't buy that one. It's got a bit of that going on. Bit of granola.
So is it a little bit more high end than Jordan's then? Is it just a bit better than that?
Yes, a little bit. Next step up.
Yeah.
It's got a box, not a bag.
So it's not Waitrose own brand. It's like a Dutchy Originals cereal.
Because So it does have a softer, kind of creamy caramel thing going on as well.
There
That's
is
toward
like
the back end. That's lovely though.
Mm.
Slightly drying, kind of probably a roasted barley, kind of slightly bitter bite.
Yeah, it's nice. Big kind of like I'm also getting quite a nice fruity note from it.
Well, certain chocolate, certain kind of like if you get like a solo origin, kind of like 70% chocolate, they do have a kind of a berry kind of like fruitiness to them.
Well, it's weird. You ever tried Cascara?
Yes.
It's a little bit of like that chewing on a Cascara. Well, no, like
I've
the
had beers with
skins.
that. I remember having a more pale ale with Cascara.
Yeah.
Did they make a tea out of it? Is that red brush tea or something? Big brand. Red brush tea or something like that. It's made out of Cascara. No, it's a tea.
Oh, okay, they've used it in a tea. Yeah. Okay.
It's like the husk, isn't it? Husk off of a coffee bean.
Yes, yeah. I used it in a stout once, but I didn't use anywhere near enough of it. And you couldn't taste it; it was just lost. But yeah, no, there's an element because when I was like chewing on them, trying to find out exactly what the taste was, and then when I steeped them a little bit as well, doing like a hot tea with Cascara, there is that a little bit of like a leatheriness to it, but then in this there's like that little bit of a berry note, that little touch of it, giving you a little bit of a fruitiness. But also say there's like a bit of just standard raisin as well in there. But no, it does have that a little bit of it's a little bit like nutty and a little bit smoky. I can pinpoint what the other flavour is inside of it.
Yeah, nuts and smoke. Yeah, I do like them. Yeah, I had the pressure drop again. London Porter called Fashion, which is just straight up beer. There's no else added to it. It's not, and I love a flavoured stout. I'm not that hot on pastry stouts, but I like a flavoured stout. And this is because this is just pretty straight up. It's a stout. It's showing what you can get from kind of the four core ingredients. You can impart chocolate, you can impart fruity notes and stuff like that without adding loads of stuff, which is great. I mean, as I said, I'm all for all. I mean, I've got loads of flavoured stouts in my fridge at the moment, but I do like to be able to find just one which is really easy going, really robust, packs in loads of flavour, but is just kind of good brewing, really.
Yeah.
Very just enjoyable.
There's too many thin stouts around, which is why I didn't enjoy my stout tasting yesterday afternoon. There's just one thing that popped in my head whilst we were speaking about pressure drop as well. Do you remember Cast Iron Billy?
Yeah.
Did you try that one? So this kind of reminds me a little bit of Cast Iron Billy, but just
That's
obviously
10%.
not. It is 10%. Obviously not 10% version of it.
Yeah.
There's like an element of the fruitiness of it is in there.
It's got a bit of a. For me, it's the flavour wise. It's kind of export stout for me. I like export stout. Verdant did a really nice one. Who else didn't? I mean, Colonel's export stout. I mean, okay, it's not that as good as that, but I mean, it's around that kind of style ish. If you ask me, probably a bit of. I think Harry's. Yeah, he's back.
I'm going to throw my internet router at someone.
So kind of Colonel's export stout. It's got a bit of that going. Maybe not quite as roasty. Maybe a little bit sweeter. Not as bitter. Not quite as hoppy as that. But in that kind of family.
Yeah.
Where it's just about just nice beer.
It is, yeah. But it shows that they do other things than just APAs and IPAs and things, and it's as good as this as well.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this on cask, nice tight sparkler.
Do they have? I don't know if they have cask in Glasshouse
in
a tap room, yeah, because I know they're a lot of places are dead against it. Do they have? I seem to think they might have one, but I could be getting it confused with
Nitro. Then that's the equivalent. Then that's the keg equivalent. If you want a bit of kind of like the creaminess, make it Nitro.
Yeah.
I could have a Nitro version of this. Ooh, lovely.
Yeah.
I've just that addition of like a bit of a creaminess. I think could just add to it. But yeah,
it's sinking them.
Absolutely.
Should have saved it for the rugby tomorrow. So that is the.
Have you not got it? Is this your last one of the Stout?
I think it is. Yes.
Oh dear.
I'll have to. I think I'm going to do a homebrew tomorrow, so I'll have to just drink.
It's not going to be finished in time enough at rugby tomorrow.
I'll speed brew
if you're brewing.
Speed brew.
Get a pinter or whatever those things are.
Yeah, never.
Brad's done one. Brad's done one on Craft Beer Channel apparently.
The pinters are up there with Perfect Draft machines and Krups subs as beer paraphernalia that I will never invest in.
What about the beer ones? Like I've got
the beer thing? Yeah, the beer thing.
The beer vibrator.
I got sent it.
Have you got one? I didn't realise you had one.
The white thing that works occasionally.
It does work occasionally, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I want to go and get it now, but I don't know if it's broken or batteries are done.
I don't know where mine is.
But it'd work a treat in this. Ooh.
I'm going to see mine might be in the drawer.
I can guarantee the batteries won't work, but
I can guarantee it won't be in the drawer, but it might be in there.
Put it on your tongue as well. Well, whilst Harry's doing that, I'll just going to jump onto the old Untapped share screen. Get ready. Exciting stuff going on live. Untapped watching. Right then, you buggers. There we go. So this one is 4.11. Another great score. You mean? I said only 113 check-ins for this. 30 IBUs. See, this is what kind of threw me a bit. I don't know if it had anything added. So sweet milk, chocolate, and bitter cacao with underlying notes of biscuit, toffee, and marzipan. I say no to the marzipan. Bitter cacao, yeah. Cacao nibs have got like a bitter dryness to them. I'd agree with that. Sweet milk chocolate, a little bit. I go a bit more caramel. Biscuit, I agree with that. Bit of a hobnobs with the little chocolate chips in it. Ooh, got a big one here from Liam. Notes of milk chocolate, coffee, hazelnut, butterscotch. Hazelnut, I'm with you. Butterscotch, no. Kind of sweet. Yeah, it's not, though, is it? It's kind of sweet, but not artificial at all. Before a light, toasty bitterness. Yeah, smooth, dry finish. Medium plus bodied. Yeah, I'm on board with you there. Lasting, toasty, hazelnutty. Just put hazelnut finish. You didn't need the Y on it, mate. Be confident in your decisions. Yes, Brum. Yes, Brum. I've been following this brewery for a while. Drank their beers way back in Birmingham at the Custard Factory bar. Blimey, this is a proper Boston Stout. Oh, no, actually, I went to Newcastle for a minute. I rate this big time. People like a long comment on this one. Dark chocolate and black treacle. Yeah, I like that. Melted over sultanish. I'm liking what you're saying. I'm liking what you're laying down, Andrew L. Walnut aromas. Tastes a gloopy, thick but dry. Nutty and biscuity. Strong coffee. I don't get coffee at all, actually. Infused black treacle. Yep. Bitter toasted Christmas spice. No, get out of town. Peppery spice. You started so well. Peppery spice. No, you just you're doing too hard now.
Stop trying to cover all bases.
Yeah, he is. Treacle, walnut, fudge, and coffee end. I think you're trying too hard there, but there was some good stuff in there.
Just copy and paste on every review.
I want something to have a very simple one now after that. No nonsense stouts, ticking all the boxes, bit of chocolate and caramel hints. Barrel aged version would be awesome.
Yes, please.
I don't think I need a barrel aged version of this. It's 6%. I think you just leave it as it is. It doesn't need to be any more than it is. They brew great stouts too. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Quite thick with chocolate, treacle, coffee. Licorice flavours, maybe a hint of licorice. I like the treacle, chocolate treacle. I don't get coffee at all from this. Subtle biscuit. Biscuit is one thing I missed. Oh no, I mentioned my finger dinner. I mentioned my wafers. But I didn't get. But it has got a biscuity. See, I like a dark chocolate covered digestive.
Yeah.
From the fridge. I like them cold. I like it cold. I like them hard. I like a pronounced snap.
Actually cold and he likes them hard.
Best Stout I've tried so far ever. Wow.
Bailey's a brew.
Steve W. Good shit. Treacly licorice and bitter cacao, just enough sweetness to lift it. Yeah, I think there's some good comments about this. It's astute comments. Milky mild roast. On the new hype train. Good brew. Well, you're a bit tight with your bloody days there, Paul B. Rounded. No. Don't talk about coffee to me. No. Not coffee. Not coffee. Come on, one more comment. Come on, give us a good one. Give us a good one. Straight up, no fuss stout. All the right ways.
So you scroll down and just find that I've put a fine ale or something like that.
Have you tremendously solid stout without any gimmicks? There you go. I think that's a fitting ender, Darryl. There you go.
Well, I found it, put new batteries in it, and it definitely works. Because I tested it by putting it in my mouth. Because
it's awful. Have you
awful,
done that?
It's
horrendous.
I've got a lot of metal inside.
I've got batteries, but I don't think I've got any.
This could potentially fuck it.
Let me go. Well, it does. It does to a certain degree. It kicks out all the. Leave it flat, but.
No. It's
done
fucked
it.
It's fucked it. That wasn't even very much for blast.
Go on, have a drink through that lovely creamy head. Go on, lad.
No, let's just put that down. Put it down. Cover that. Here you go, Siren. This is how you do it. Just put one of these
in every box. Essentially, it kind of rouses the existing carbonation and leaves you with a flat beer in the end. But
yeah, that's the job of it. It's I just drank pure head there. Yeah.
Go and have another go. Get load of head and
shove it in again.
No, from what you've got. Drink through the head. Get a bit of beer, and the lovely creamy head. There you go. You got a lot less now. That's a bit more manageable. Get that nitro experience.
Can't say it improved it.
Did it improve it?
Well, because it's just throwing up CO2, isn't it? Really, it's not really making it nitro. It's just, we're gonna change the beer for you for the worse every time.
That's a bit of a creamy.
It does add a bit of creaminess. I don't think it quite works with this one because it's got that fruity edge within it. It doesn't seem to work too well. Something that's maybe like a little bit more roasted. If it had a little bit more of a roasty note, it might work. But just no, not sure.
If it had a bit of coffee flavour, then it might be.
Yeah. If it had coffee and it was 4% and it was made in Ireland and and people would rave about it more because it's just bang average and boring. That's a test. Is putting one of these inside of a Guinness, see what happens. Explosive.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It'd be like Staggeringly Good's new.
It evaporates.
Staggeringly Good's new.
It changes it on a molecular level, and it becomes just gas. Where'd it go? It's been fucked around with so much.
It's the one thing the IRA never discovered. Been making millions.
So, any more comments, questions? Bring it on before we fuck off because we haven't got much left.
Did Adam invent that stick?
I've got the treacle stout from Fridge Drop in the fridge. I want it. I love the sound of it. Evening chaps, drinking days. Can we get another aeroplane? I don't think I've heard that. Don't know if I've seen that.
Because Daya would be the brewery who has multiple airplanes.
And then, as Harry just mentioned, did Adam invent that stick? It's the knobhead rater. Rater. That's a good point. The instant knobhead pour. I want like maybe you should rebrand it and make a box with Adam on it. Like a pint, just froth.
As approved by Mersey Beers.
It's niche.
It'd be doing like a JML advert.
Yeah. That'd be brilliant. You got to set it up.
Yeah.
When we go over.
When
we go over to Liverpool, but we'll do it.
Poor stick.
Yeah. Some genius going on there. I'll go viral, that shit.
I'll bring it. Because it definitely doesn't look like anything else.
I took it out once or twice. I remember going to Grove in Huddersfield with Stuart. Don't work on cask.
It doesn't work in a lot of beers. And it works on saisons very well. But it doesn't work on a lot of beers. It just seems to have no effect. Also, I recommend before you travel, take the batteries out because the amount of batteries I go through from just brushing up against it, because all it takes is just like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if mine works anymore.
Not
going to buy a new one.
No. I wonder whoever thought this was a good idea. Adam.
Probably. But yes. So, big thanks to Harry for joining me this evening. Big thanks to everyone who's joined us live, and thanks to everyone who's watched this after the fact. 3 fantastic beers. Thanks to everyone who's commented as well this evening. So 3 beers. So I think I've finished that one. I have finished the kind of pale, and so we did the live and direct pale. We did the Simcoe IPA, Bump the Acres. As I said, it's a tribute to a fond weekend of dogging in the woods, in the Black Forests of Birmingham. And then now we're on Shadow Tricks Stout, and it's very nice. A great, a reminder on how good this brewery is. I don't see them as a hypey brewery. I think they're just a brewery making good beer, and you just can't deny that kind of thing. It's good, and not kind of like, and nothing's a double IPA. I will absolutely drink a double IPA from Glasshouse in the near future, I'm sure. You don't need to do a triple. I'm just saying, if you're watching, don't bother with a triple yet. There's too many of them. Just keep doing like 4 to 6%.
Give me a 7.4% double IPA, please.
Oh yeah, like you get on the West Coast.
I learned something very interesting about 7.4% double IPAs and submitting them for duty, and I know what you can get away with. There
you go, Harry. A bit of mysticism at the end. So I've got any more comments? No, I'm just going to leave it on that because that was a good one. Doesn't invent this thing. But yes, so a big thanks to everybody who's going to join us this evening. Some lovely beers, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time you see. Actually, you're going to see a review of Glasshouse Sakura. I don't know. Depends on how Japanese you are. Coming up on my channel in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I drank it weeks ago. I just don't post stuff in a timely fashion, as you should know by now. Been doing this for over 10 years. Come on, you're not going to get stuff promptly. If you want that, go on Jake's channel. He's all over those kind of like new releases. He loves a premiere.
He's a hype merchant.
Exactly, hype merchant, premiere, hunting whore that he is. But yes, great beers. Thanks everybody who's joined us. When this happens again, you never know. Keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, I'm Rob from Hopzine. See you next time. You never know, there might be another live thing.